The story starts in the heart of New York City, where John Wick is punching a board with his bleeding knuckles. He has sought refuge under the protection of the Bowery King, who arrives with John's pit bull. The king asks if John is prepared to confront the High Table, to which John confidently replies, yeah. John's quest takes him to Morocco, where he trails a group of masked men on horseback. He engages in a merciless fight, eventually killing them all. It is revealed that the men were working for the Elder. John then confronts the Elder and demands the coveted ring for his freedom. However, the Elder informs him that the ring no longer exists. Ignoring the revelation, John proceeds to kill the Elder before leaving. Back in New York, the High Table sends Harbinger to the Continental Hotel. Harbinger hands him the letter of his hotel being condemned. Further, he tells Winston and Sharon are summoned by the Marquis Vincent Bissett de Gramont. They also learn that the Elder has died. Later on, they meet the Marquis, who berates Winston for not killing John. Amid their discussion, the Marquis watches the New York Continental get destroyed. This is their punishment. Additionally, Winston is declared excommunicado. The Marquis makes the situation worse by shooting Charon in the chest. Winston stays with Karen as he dies and wishes it was him instead, full of guilt. The Marquis asks his aide to bring Kane. In Paris, Kane, a blind assassin, listens to a violin in a park. His daughter Mia is playing it nearby. Thinking twice, he reaches the Marquis' place. The Marquis offers him a job. Even though Kane mentions he is retired, the Marquis makes him go behind John Wick by threatening to harm Mia if he doesn't follow the High Table's orders. Finding no other option, he agrees to the order. When asked about John's present location, Kane thinks of John's close friends. In the bustling Osaka Continental, Mr. Nobody seeks refuge. Akira, the daughter of the hotel manager Shimizu Koji, extends her assistance by offering him a room. Meanwhile, Koji, an old friend of John Wick, arrives and Akira confides in him about her worries regarding John and Koji's friendship. As Koji and John find themselves on the hotel rooftop, Koji expresses his disapproval of John's killing the Elder. He informs John about the destruction of the New York Continental and the tragic death of Charon. Trouble escalates when Chidi arrive at the hotel, demanding to meet the manager. Akira reaches the rooftop to find her father with John. She is torn between her loyalty to her father and her concern for John's presence, watches the events unfold. As Koji meets Chidi, who asks for permission to search the hotel premises. Koji, wary of his intentions, insists they surrender their weapons first. Just as tension peaks, Kane, an unexpected ally and friend of Koji, appears, leading to a heated confrontation. The situation takes a dark turn when Koji senses he's losing control and signals his men to attack by plunging the area into darkness. A brutal battle ensues between Koji's men and Chidai's mercenaries. Despite their valiant efforts, Koji's forces are overwhelmed when Kane strategically traps and defeats them. In the chaos, Akira fights bravely but sustains injuries, only to be rescued by Koji. Concerned for her safety, Koji instructs John to leave and eliminate any threats on his way out. As John fights his way back, he faces numerous adversaries, dispatching them with his lethal skills and determination. Eventually, he crosses paths with Kane, setting the stage for a final, intense confrontation. In a sudden revelation, John understands that Kane is targeting him due to his daughter's involvement. Their battle is fierce and brief, but Kane gains the upper hand, overwhelming John. Just when it seems John is cornered, Mr. Nobody intervenes, firing at Kane and giving John the opportunity to escape. As John hurries away, he encounters Mr. Nobody and his loyal German shepherd. Mr. Nobody reveals that he's helping John because the current bounty on John's head isn't sufficient anymore. As Koji and Akira make their desperate escape, they unexpectedly come face to face with Kane. Although Kane and Koji share a long-standing friendship, Koji adamantly refuses to let Kane pursue John, leading them into a fierce sword duel. Just when it seems Koji might be allowed to retreat, he continues the fight, determined to the end. In a fatal turn, Kane strikes the fatal blow, leaving Akira to witness her father's final moments. Devastated, Akira clutches her father's lifeless body, consumed by grief and fury. She grabs Koji's sword, intending to avenge her father by killing Kane. However, Kane, in a moment of unexpected compassion, advises her against it. He urges her to spare herself from a similar fate and promises that they will meet again. Filled with anger and a thirst for vengeance, Akira heads to the train station where she confronts John, blaming him for her father's tragic demise. She issues an ultimatum to John. Either he kills Kane or she will kill him. In a clandestine meeting, Winston confers with the Bowery King, fully aware that their continued proximity to John Wick marks them as vulnerable targets. Meanwhile, the Harbinger confronts the Marquis, criticizing the unnecessary bloodshed at the Osaka Continental. However, the Marquis staunchly defends the violence, asserting that it is crucial not just to eliminate John Wick, but also to dismantle the perception of him as an untouchable and invincible figure. Amidst this conflict, Mr. Nobody pays a visit to the Marquis, demanding a hefty $23 million contract for John's assassination. Unfazed, the Marquis responds by impaling his hand, presenting Mr. Nobody with a daunting choice: either pulling the knife out or pulling his hand out to see where his ambitions lie. Mr. Nobody, displaying steely resolve, pulls out his hand. Impressed by Mr. Nobody's audacity, the Marquis agrees to honor his request. In a solemn meeting at Charon's tomb, John expresses his heartfelt sympathies to Winston for the loss of their mutual friend. Winston, fueled by a desire for revenge against the Marquis, shares a daring plan with John to break free from the High Table's clutches. Winston suggests a risky challenge, facing the Marquis in a duel, even though these High Table duels were widely believed to be mere myths. Feeling isolated and desperate, John contemplates his options. His only potential allies are his estranged family, yet the Rosca-Roma, a powerful faction, have cut all ties with him, leaving him with no support. Despite the odds stacked against him, John makes the bold decision to seek out his family, embarking on a journey that could be his only chance at freedom. In a dramatic turn of events, John's quest takes him to Berlin, where he is met with hostility at the hands of the Rosca-Roma. Greeted by the ominous blast of a shotgun from the priest, John finds himself tied up with a noose around his neck, facing dire consequences. Amidst this tension, he encounters Keishia, his adoptive sister, seething with anger towards him. Keishia blames John for the death of her father, Pyotr, a respected figure within their community, whose execution was ordered by the Marquis due to John's actions against the elder. Stricken with guilt and determination to make amends, John offers to assist Keishia. In an act of defiance, she commands him to target a member of the German High Table named Killer, the man responsible for her father's demise. John reaches Killer's pulsating nightclub, where he finds himself face to face with Kane and Mr. Nobody, both of whom have tracked him down. The trio sights down for a high-stakes card game with Killer, who resorts to cheating before unleashing his henchmen upon the three skilled assassins. Suddenly, John employs a playing card to slash Killer's neck, initiating a fierce hand-to-hand battle. Amidst the chaos, Kane and Nobody, aided by Nobody's loyal dog, skillfully fend off the attackers, while John, undeterred, pursues Killer through the oblivious crowd of clubgoers. Despite Killer's advantage in strength and weight, John holds his ground. Killer's henchmen attempt to avenge their boss, but their efforts result in inevitable bloody defeat. Desperate to escape, Killer resorts to pushing John over a balcony, hoping to put an end to the confrontation. However, John proves relentless, ultimately cornering Killer and sending him tumbling down a flight of stairs, leading to a fatal impact. To confirm Killer's demise, John claims one of his gold teeth as evidence and presents it to Katia. Impressed and approving, Katia assists John in a significant ritual where he is branded with the family's crest, solidifying his acceptance and support for the impending duel. Winston visits and delivers the official challenge document from John to the Marquis, signaling the commencement of their duel. Despite the Marquis' attempts to refuse, Winston asserts the unyielding grip of the High Table's customs, compelling him to honor the challenge. Seizing the opportunity, Winston outlines his terms. If John emerges victorious, Winston demands his exoneration from being excommunicado. Also, he insists on the revival of his Continental, restoring it to its former glory and reinstating his managerial authority. The Marquis, however, issues a chilling reminder. He will serve as John's second, meaning if John falls, he too will face the same fate. In a solemn atmosphere, John takes his place opposite the Marquis, with the Harbinger presiding over them, outlining the terms of their impending duel. The battleground is set. The iconic Sacre-Cœur in Paris at the break of dawn. Armed with guns, they are to face off in a showdown of lethal precision and skill. The stakes are high and the rules unforgiving. Failure to appear before the deadline spells automatic forfeiture, a dire consequence that could lead to execution. Adding another layer of tension, Kane assumes the role of the Marquis's second, a duty that holds both grave responsibility and a chance for freedom. If Kane manages to defeat John, the Marquis promises to release him and his daughter from their shackles. Seeking solace, John visits a quiet church where he sits in contemplation, paying tribute to Helen. In this moment of reflection, Kane, approaching him amicably, shares insights about Maya and the profound stakes he stands to lose in his pursuit. Later, John reunites with Winston and the Bowery King, the latter in a gesture of support, equips him with a new weapon and a bulletproof suit, preparing him for the challenges that lie ahead. As they part ways, John tells them to write loving husband on his grave. With a stern tone, the Harbinger warns the Marquis of the dire consequences that would befall the High Table if John were to successfully eliminate him. Fearing this outcome, the Marquis takes drastic measures to impede John's progress to the Seika Core. He dispatches Chidi and his menacing gang to hunt down John, emphasizing the urgency of preventing him from reaching his destination. Simultaneously, a chilling announcement echoes over the airwaves as a radio DJ broadcasts the lucrative bounty on John's head. This ominous declaration rings out, enticing other skilled assassins to join the pursuit, heightening the tension and increasing the stakes in the race against time. The shadowy world of contract killers comes alive, setting the stage for a relentless pursuit where every move could mean the difference between life and death. Amidst the iconic backdrop of the Seika Core, John Wick becomes the epicenter of a relentless pursuit. Battling against a relentless horde of assassins, he navigates the bustling streets of Paris, engaging in intense shootouts amidst the chaotic traffic around the Arc de Triomphe. In a dance of bullets and strategy, he cunningly dispatches his adversaries, utilizing both his lethal precision and the urban landscape to his advantage. As John's every move is meticulously monitored by the High Table, a flurry of deadly operatives tail him, escalating the stakes of his perilous journey. Entering a warehouse teeming with adversaries, he unleashes explosive rounds, engulfing the scene in a blaze of fury. Meanwhile, an unexpected ally, Nobody, enters the fray, eliminating some assassins while negotiating with the Marquis for a higher price on John's head. The tension mounts as the Marquis concedes to a staggering $40 million contract, drawing forth even more desperate and ill-fated hitmen into the deadly game. In John's harrowing journey, a new formidable opponent emerges in the form of Nobody. Driven by the lucrative bounty placed on John's head, Nobody relentlessly attacks, triggering a fierce exchange of gunfire between them. The intensity escalates when Chidi, in a misguided move, aims his weapon at Nobody's loyal companion. In a swift and decisive act, John reacts instantly, firing at Chidi to protect the innocent dog. This unexpected display of loyalty and compassion resonates with Nobody, prompting him to halt his assault. In a climactic struggle, John perseveres, ascending the steps leading to the Seika Core while fending off relentless assassins. Just as he nears the top, Chidi appears, launching a forceful attack that sends John tumbling back down the stairs. Amidst the chaos, Kane arrives, extending a helping hand to John, and together they engage in a fierce battle against Chidi's henchmen. However, Chidi pulls his gun on John, leaving no options for him. Meanwhile, Nobody enters the fray, seeking retribution against Chidi for callously endangering his loyal canine companion. The dog delivers a painful bite to Chidi, while Nobody delivers the decisive blow, putting an end to the menacing assassin. As an ultimate act of defiance, the dog marks the victory by defiantly peeing on Chidi's defeated face. In the final moments before sunrise, tension hangs thick in the air as John and Kane stand face to face, their pistols drawn for a classic duel. Each expertly lands 2 shots on the other, demonstrating their unparalleled marksmanship. As the pivotal third round begins, Kane aims for John's gut, pulling the trigger, but no shot is fired in return. Amidst the standoff, the Marquis, consumed by his desire to be the one to kill John Wick, orders the coup de grace. However, Winston steps in, calling out the Marquis for his arrogance and reminding him of John's unfired round. The realization dawns too late for the Marquis as John seizes the opportunity, swiftly ending his own life with a gunshot to the head. With the demise of the Marquis, the Harbinger solemnly declares their freedom from the clutches of the High Table. In his final moments, John descends the steps, his mind briefly dwelling on the memory of Helen. With her name on his lips, he succumbs, ultimately finding his peace as John Wick departs this world, a man unshackled and finally free. In a quiet and solemn ceremony, Winston and the Bowery King lay John to rest beside his beloved Helen, honoring his final wish for his tombstone to bear the words loving husband. As they stand by his grave, the Bowery King asks Winston if he believes John has found his place in heaven or hell. With a thoughtful pause, Winston replies, "Who knows?" Later, Kane embarks on a quest to reunite with Maya, seeking solace and connection in the wake of the chaos. Unbeknownst to him, Akira, fueled by a powerful thirst for revenge, stealthily advances towards him. And as always, share your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. This is Filmflix Recaps, signing off. Feel free to check our other videos.